Hello, 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 Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, guys, and this is TransurfingTV. And today on TransurfingTV, this is hands down, without a doubt, my absolute favorite part of the Reality Transurfing Steps 1 through 5 book by Vadim Zeland. It is powerful, it is simple, and it destroys haters. You know what? I'm going to start using this lesson to kind of like fire back at some of the haters that are like, hey, why is your channel performing so poorly if you're a good transurfer? Hey, if you understand reality transurfing so well, why can't you transurf more subs or more views? And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that's not really my goal. I mean, I throw it out into the world. Yeah, it'd be nice to have like 1 million people on my channel, but I don't really necessarily buy into that being the most valuable part of what it is that I'm doing. Some of you may have seen this post that I threw out a little while back. It was called Fake Shit. And essentially I was calling out the people that are in this space like me that are doing the, reality creation stuff. Yet I've heard from a little bird and also have seen some things on my own that have exposed that these people are not necessarily being genuine about their subscribers and view counts and all that stuff, that a lot of these dudes are buying all of these things to make it look like they have these big, huge accounts with 1 million people or 300,000 people or 400,000 people. You can probably tell who I'm talking about throwing these numbers out there. So I'm being compared to these people like, oh, Renee, well, if you're so good at this, why don't you have what these people have? Well, first of all, it's fake. But second of all, I understand an absolute pivotal part of transurfing that the others that are needing to participate in this sort of activity, this vanity metrics, getting the subs up and the views up and all this stuff, vanity metrics as I'm calling it, they don't really understand, because if they believed what it is that I'm going to teach today, they wouldn't have to do that stuff, and everybody could just be the authentic, true version of themselves, not having to throw up a bunch of smoke and mirrors to convince others of their success, right? And this lesson today, lesson 4 of my 4-part series on the mirror world, the maker's intention. Again, this is my favorite part of transurfing. This is my favorite part of the book. This is my favorite concept. This is my favorite example. This is it. And if you can start seeing your world from this perspective starting today, you will succeed. You will succeed. And mark my words, everyone, I may only have 14 or 15,000 subs, and I might not have the crazy number of views that all these other guys have. But you know what? 10 years from now, I guarantee I will be more successful than them. I guarantee I will be on a stage. I guarantee that I will have built something beyond a house of cards, smoke and mirrors, and a YouTube channel with 1 million subs, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean much. So before I get started on the maker's intention, remember to like this video, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, links for the courses. Join us on the Facebook group, follow me on Instagram, check out our shirts. Our really groovy shirts. I'm still waiting for mine. I'm like, come on, you guys, bring me my shirts, bring me my shirts. It's pretty much all you guys are gonna see me in once they arrive. I think I bought 12 items from the store below. So check out all that stuff and let's get into it. The Maker's Intention, Reality Transurfing Steps 1 through 5 by Vadim Zeland. So, in order to see the reality you desire in the mirror, of the world, you have to take certain elementary steps. Intentionally shape the corresponding image in your mind's eye, paying no attention to the delayed reflection and peeking at it only in search of any new manifestation of the emerging reality. The thing is that even when you are aware of the delay, it can be quite difficult to get used to this quirky mirror. The idea is deeply rooted in our consciousness that reality is either instantly obedient, as if we are holding a stick to it, or cannot be controlled at all. We think that if a desire is not fulfilled right this moment, it is not possible for it to be realized at all. You cannot do what cannot be done. People are then resigned to the idea that all they can do is dream and that magic is something inaccessible or transcendental. We are all accustomed to the idea that magic must be something set apart from reality. The world of fantasy is somewhere out there in the beyond or in our imagination, while real life is here. There is no getting away from it, and you cannot change it. Magicians and people with extrasensory abilities also live in a separate, special world, while we ordinary people with our ordinary problems are left to trudge through this gray reality. Obviously, he's being sarcastic, right? In truth, there is no such thing as magic. There is just knowledge of the principles of the dual mirror. This knowledge is not hard to access. In fact, it is so transparent and unsophisticated that it could never fit with the canons of the magical. And yet Aladdin's lamp looked like an old can, and the Holy Grail was not made of gold. Everything that has greatness is inconceivably simple. It has no need of decoration or secrecy. In contrast, it is always the things that are empty and useless that are hidden under a veil of magnitude and mystery. Once magic has been integrated into the mundane and relieved of its fairy tale attributes, it ceases to be associated with the realms of the mystical and the secret. When magic takes its place here in everyday life, it loses its fascinating element of mystery. The wonderful thing about the transformation is that everyday reality in turn ceases to be everyday and is transformed into an unknown reality which can be controlled, a waking dream, as long as the mirror principles are observed. You may already be acquainted with the transurfing method and know how to work with a target slide. Time is passing, but nothing is happening. It is the same feeling as when you send a letter and wait ages for a reply. The mind becomes restless with impatience. You begin to wonder whether you might not be doing it right or whether it is all, in fact, a load of rubbish. But the world does not stop, and the process of reflection being materialized in the mirror continues. It is just that the process is subtle and imperceptible, and so it appears as if nothing were happening. At this stage, the scales in the mind shift between the knowledge that the mirror reacts with a delay and the old habit of observing an almost instant correlation between direct action and the consequent result. What does the mind think when it perceives no visible result? It thinks that the action taken is ineffective or wrong. So what then does the mirror reflect? Exactly, it reflects the same. The process ends up being slowed or taking a different direction. You can imagine the mind having this kind of dialogue with the world. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is really like, this is the seed of reality transurfing. So again, this is a dialogue between a person that wants something and their world. I want a toy. Of course you do, darling. But you promised. Well, yes, You asked, and I said that you would have your toy. You seemed quite satisfied that you would have it. You misunderstood me. I want a toy right now, this very minute. No, I understand perfectly. You want it now. So where is it then? Exactly. Where is it? One of us must be an idiot. Undoubtedly. Damn it, I totally forgot that you were nothing more than a stupid mirror. How can I talk to you? Then I remembered you were giving me a toy. Okay, my sweet. So, shall we go and get it then? Of course, dear. Come to me and I will carry you. And then they set off to get the present that was so desired. Now all that remains is to have a little patience and devote your time to happily preparing for the occasion. The heart sings and the mind rubs its hands in glee. Why should not they be satisfied? For they are going with their world to buy a toy. The transurfer will understand that the choices a person makes are transformed into an indisputable law that will inevitably be fulfilled. All it takes is to focus your attention on the end goal. Yet people are never satisfied. Do you think we are going the right way? I do not see any toy shops here. Do not worry, dear. We will be there soon. But when? I think we have taken a wrong turn and ended up in some back streets. Do you think? Yes, of course, we are lost. Whatever you say, Pumpkin, you know I always agree with you. Stupid mirror, I knew I should never have relied on you. Where have you brought me? I wanted to pop into the park on the way and push you on the merry-go-round while we are out. People feel unsure of themselves when they are led blindfolded. The mind cannot come to terms with the fact that nothing is happening or that events are not unfolding as they had expected. The mind is like a cybernetic machine. When the work algorithm is disturbed, a red light comes on. The only difference between them is that the mind creates its own program or scripts, naively assuming that it can account for all future variables in advance. The primitivism of so-called common sense lies in the fact that it not only chooses a stereotypical program of action, but it also insists on it. In the moment that the choice is made, the final goal image is set. The mirror of the world receives the order and sets about realizing it according to a specific plan. Only the mirror can know how the image's reflection will be transformed, as the means is inaccessible to the mind. Yet when the mind sees that events are unfolding according to some strange scenario, it sounds the alarm and the individual then takes the world by the throat. For surely something must be done about it. The person thinks that nothing is working out, which begins to distort the target slide. On top of all this, the person that then takes action to support the scenario they consider more fitting, and again ends up hindering the realization of the other plan they cannot fathom and yet would lead them to certain success. It is as if you snooker yourself with your own ball, or as the Russian proverb has it, it won't fit in the box, it won't come out of the box, and it won't give the box up. By taking a deadly grip on their own version of the script, which they feel sure must represent the path to their goal, the person prevents the goal from ever being realized. But that is not all. The irrepressible desire to have the toy as soon as possible pumps up so much excess potential that the mirror is literally distorted. And what good is a distorted mirror? Okay, so I'm actually going to stop right there. So I can imagine that probably no haters have made it this far in the video. But for those that have sent me messages saying, you don't have the subs, you don't have the views, I feel so much compassion for these people, because I can tell that they are doing exactly in their own reality what Vadim is talking about here. They are insisting on a version of a script that they know the path to success, and in doing so, completely hindering them from actually achieving the thing. So for me, this has been unbelievably challenging for me to accept and to learn that my world will absolutely take me to the toy. It will, but I have to give up my conventional hold on that script and that I know the way. And this immutable law that Vadim Zeland talks about, in my current perspective, my current layer of reality, I really do believe that the only path to true, meaningful success, real success, where you get what it is that you want and you become that version of you and you live in that version of reality, soul, body, mind, everything, you are going to have to switch over and let your world take you there. There is little that can be done with your conventional mode of operation and script and insisting that you know the scenario. And again, the reason that I can say all this is because I've been there, I've lived it, I've done it. I have achieved some amazing things in my life and accessed really cool versions of reality, but they were fleeting and in the end, not that meaningful. And this current version, how I'm operating now, what is materializing that's intended for me. And again, I'm not trying to throw shade on the dudes that are buying all the subs and the likes and all that stuff, but I step back and first of all, I separate myself from this conventional script, needing to see things play out in a specific way in order to feel success. And I think, okay, so you hit the 1 million subs. Is that really the height of your soul frail? Is that really what you wanted? Is that really what's good for you? Is that really what's going to leave an impression on this world, you know? And when I can remove myself, allow my world to embrace me and say, it's okay, Renee, it's okay. You don't have to have all these standards. You don't have to insist that you know the way. You don't have to insist that this script unfolds in this idea that you have in your mind. You don't have to put pressure on yourself that others are doing it better than you or that you're failing. You can relax and let me carry you and let me take you to your toy. And oh my God, it's like, I almost feel like I'm gonna start crying because the release, the pressure, all of that is dissolved. And I get to actually live my life and enjoy what it is that I'm doing and not insist on this script that doesn't serve me or my real intentions for who I am as a human being. You know, it's what really matters in life. And all the stuff that comes along with it, the money and the fun and the nice things and all that, it's great. But that essence, that sensation, that feeling as though I can let go today and allow myself to feel successful and allow myself to continue on with my intention, which is not 1 million subscribers. It's not 1 million subscribers. It's that I find the people that are to connect with this knowledge and apply it to their lives and find what it is that I've found. And if it's a handful of people, it's a handful of people. My God, I would choose that handful over 1 million subs any day of the week ever, because I know that at the end, that's what's going to matter. That's what's going to matter. So, I got a little emotional on that one. And I really do believe that it is because I know that other side, and I can feel the pain. I can feel the longing. I can feel the inferiority complex. I can feel the pressure. Oh, this isn't working fast enough. Nothing's happening. I'm going to be a failure. This is all just a bunch of rubbish. None of it, I was led down the wrong path. This isn't going to work. I might as well give up now. And I know I never have to live like that again. I never have to live like that again. Thank God. Thank God. And I hope everyone out there that is living like that today finds access to this better way. So I hope you guys enjoyed my 4-part series on the mirror world. I'm going to keep on rocking it. I hope you guys keep on rocking it. I hope you find a way to add that bit of gold to your mirror and to let your world pick you up and take you to the toy, and to let your world come to you, and to understand the magic and the realness and the benefit of this concept, to start seeing results, real results, not standards of pendulums results, but a deep, personal, meaningful set of results that are going to allow you to feel as though you have accessed that highest life track intended for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. So I love you all. Thank you all for watching this and supporting me and finding reality transurfing and going into it. And I wish you all the absolute best in finding that version of reality that's intended for you. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.